Good evening, everybody. I'm just a simple man, and my name is Noah Foster, and welcome once again to another episode of 205 Live Matters, episode number 35. This week, 205 Live emanated from the world's most famous arena, unless you're talking about the Tokyo Dome as well, Madison Square Garden, from New York, New York. The first time ever in over a decade that anything WWE has been in this building, live broadcast television-wise. I know they've done house shows there too. So before we get into this week's episode and more, of course, let me introduce you to my co-host. He's a family man. He's a respectable man. He's an honorable man. He's not the man, that's Becky Lynch. But he is one of my best friends and has a good heart and respects Cruiserweight Wrestling. It's, of course, the holiday, Christopher Mace. Chris, how are you?
Oh, it's going good. Long work week, so it's always good to relax and talk about some wrestling.
Amen to that, brother. Tell me about it. Working 7:30 a.m. to freaking 7:30 p.m. at night in an office, as comfortable as it may be, is boring sometimes. Computers and paper. But I digress. This isn't about my life. This is about cruiserweights. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. So again, this was the Go Home episode, and the last Go Home Madison Square Garden-based WWE show this week, as we head towards Clash of Champions. Oy vey. And basically, we start off with a recap of how we are setting up our Cruiserweight Championship match. 2 weeks ago, we had Oney Lorcan versus Humberto Carrillo, and Humberto Carrillo, he won. But last week, they were caught in guerrilla, basically saying, if I had the same opportunities as you, I would be in this match, and I could become Cruiserweight Champion, which, of course, led to the events that happened last week, starting in Drake Maverick's office. You know what? The match is set. And they had a great back-and-forth physical bout, and in the end, Lince Dorado caught him with a roll-up, extended the leg, and Lince Dorado is now in this match, much to the chagrin of Drew Gulak, which brought back the alliance out of nowhere of Drew Gulak and Tony Nese.
Mm-hmm.
See that coming. So now we have this whole triangle, well, no, square technically, of Tony Nese and Drew Gulak versus Humberto Carrillo and Lince Dorado, which was supposed to be our main event tonight. So we go right into the show. We get introduced by our commentary team of course, lead commentator Vic Joseph, color commentator in English, and first off, congratulations NXT on finally being viewed as a brand, not developmental. All the best from Nigel McGuinness. Nigel and Mauro have amazing chemistry. Beth does her best. So Nigel McGuinness is no longer part of 205 Live, which makes me sad. But you know what? They had to do something to the commentary team, so we bring in former NXT superstar and I guess NFL linebacker. Sorry, I'm hashtag non-sports. I don't remember the team. I think it was Boston something. Dio Maddin. And apparently he was trained by Booker T. I'm surprised he didn't say good because we didn't hear that at all. But I thought he did okay for who he was. So we get right into our opening match, which was Akira Tozawa and D. Brian Kendrick versus Jack Gallagher, who's been out due to injury for a while. But he apologized, says he's back, and says, thank you. You're giving me the time to find my tap product, so we didn't know who it was going to be. And he says, but you might live to regret that. Because I was like, okay, who could this possibly be? Could it be someone from NXT UK? Is this a surprise debut? Is this a long-time face coming back? Who is friends with Jack Gallagher? Who could be a surprise? Now, as you all know, again, 12-hour shifts means I get like 5 hours of sleep and a half if I'm lucky. So I go straight to bed for SmackDown Live. I watch 205 Live on the bus on Wednesdays, and on Wednesday nights when I come home to analyze it. But I see a text from my friend Paul at church. He's like, Noah, you won't believe it's being 205 Live. And I'm 10% awake. So I open the phone, and I'm on voice chat in the hashtag 205 Matters Facebook group. I'm like, okay, I'm tuning in. Holy shit! Kushida! Freaking Kushida debuted on 205 Live. I couldn't believe that. I'm glad he got a good reception from the crowd, too. And I thought this was a very nice match, and you saw Akira Tozawa's face. I don't think he's turning heel, but he's definitely turning into a much more serious competitor. Chris Mace, take me through your thoughts on this match, Akira Tozawa, as far as his stand on 205 Live, and the debut of Kushida.
Well, like I said, the beginning of the show was pretty much explaining everything that was going on. We set up the main event for the night, and we had the opening match of Akira Tozawa and Brian Kendrick versus the gentleman Jack Gallagher and his mystery partner. And it was surprising that was Kushida. I mean, I have talked about before with the whole situation with Gulak back weeks ago, where he was talking about bringing people back from my past, the foreshadowing. Okay, now you introduce Kushida. Now it's time. Can we going to see that matchup for the Cruiserweight title on 205 Live? I know they had a matchup recently for the Cruiserweight title recently at a different promotion, but now it's time to see it at 205 Live now. But the match itself was fucking awesome. Excuse the way I'm saying that, but it was a damn good match, back and forth action. Like I said, the Brian Kendrick, some of the stuff I like with him. Like I said, he's the veteran in there. He's leading the match. You could tell where he's leading the match. You know, he's putting on his submission hold on Kushida, trying to get him to submit. Different things in the match, like the storytelling wise, you could tell that Brian Kendrick has come a long way from being what he was back when he was Spanky and tag teaming with Paul London to, being more of a ring general now in the ring. You could tell where he's leading the match and guiding everything. But the match itself was really damn good. The right outcome was done right. Kushida tapping out to Brian Kendrick. So let's see where this goes in the future. Is it going to set up a feud with now the Brian Kendrick and Kushida, or are we going to still continue to feud with the Gentleman and the Brian Kendrick? Because now the Gentleman's been able to get some kind of payback on the Brian Kendrick by getting a win over him and Akira Tozawa in a tag match.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a huge surprise to me, but I was not disappointed. I thought they were going to pull like a legend card or longtime veteran type thing like they've been doing all week with Stone Cold and The Undertaker. I gotta be honest with you, I thought it was going to be Tajiri because he does have past history with the Brian Kendrick. But I was wrong. Not that I'm disappointed. And yeah, this was a very good match from the get-go. Chance for Kushida. It started out, though, with Kushida and D. Brian Kendrick, but you just saw the scowl on Akira Tozawa's face. I need to look and see if they faced each other in Japan. I bet you they did, at least at one point. But anyway, yeah. It was basically a jockeying for positions here. It was all about control and speed. And Kushida definitely outpaced D. Brian Kendrick. I mean, the dude is fast. No wonder he's a fan of freaking Back to the Future. Good movie series, by the way. But anyway, Jack, he's just curious because he's never been tagged with this guy. What does he bring? What can I expect from him? What can I learn from him? I think Jack was pleasantly surprised, too. Mm-hmm. And, again, we get multiple tags throughout the match. Jack gets tagged in. Then we get Akira Tozawa. He's tagged in eventually. And it's all about jockeying position for controls and counters. It wasn't until a distraction spot by Akira Tozawa. Maybe he has been under the Brian Kendrick's learning tree and taking it to force. Maybe he is turning heel. That D. Brian Kendrick pressed Jack Gallagher's shoulder into the turnbuckle post. Ouch. And then we get some tandem offense between D. Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa with the elbow drop and the sit-out senton. And then, of course, one of my favorite spots, pick-up jab, one of my favorite moves by Akira Tozawa. And then Akira, he just seems much more serious, constantly looking at Kushida. They are taking quick tags. It's tag and tab between D. Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa. And it looked like at one point, D. Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa, I'm speaking a lot in third person tonight. Anyway, it looks like he was trying to do an assisted sliced bread that was countered into our hot tag to Kushida. And boy, did things change. Where Kushida just throwing himself against these two. Controlling the match. There's speed. There is that batter up right, I'm going to call it, because he knocked the daylights out of D. Brian Kendrick. And then a beautiful spinning turnout DDT. But Akira Tozawa, he comes into play. And then Jack, he comes in for a little bit of offense. He's taken down via a running senton, though, one of Akira Tozawa's trademarks. And then Akira and D. Brian Kendrick, they take on Kushida 2-on-1. Seems like they have the momentum. They try and go for a tag maneuver, but D. Brian Kendrick is holding Kushida in place, only for Kushida to find a way to use that to his advantage. He moves D. Brian Kendrick into the way of Kushida's running kick, knocks Kushida way out of the ring. D. Brian Kendrick right now, he's in a bad state. So what happens? We get our finish. Vicious kick, spin around kick, and then the excuse me if I screw this up, Sakuraba lock, which I believe is a hoverboard lock. Immediate top of D. Brian Kendrick. Kushida wins his debut. And on Twitter, Akira Tozawa says, "I want you one-on-one." Yes! That was an awesome opener and a great debut. And as far as the outlook, I think it's safe to say Akira Tozawa, he might be turning heel. He might be taking a darker, more aggressive approach. A little bit manipulative as well. Shades of D. Brian Kendrick. And we'll see where this goes. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to get Kushida versus Akira Tozawa one-on-one. The question is where? 205 Live or NXT? folks, there are a lot of changes coming to not only No DQ's content, but NXT and 205 Live. We will be having further civil stances on that after Clash of Champions because we already know what's to come this weekend. Anyway, next up, this was kind of pointless to me. Bali Singh brothers. They're saying that they've matured since being in time in the Bollywood studio. We have to regain the supporters of our billions and billions of Bollywood-type fans back in India. And when we come back, expect more and expect us to be the best tag team in 205 Live, which I guess now has 4 tag teams when you think about it. Almost could start their own division. So I don't think you have much to say about the Singh brothers because you and I are pretty much on mutual grounds with that. But next, take me through your thoughts on this interview with Mike Kanellis.
It was an interesting interview. He's talking about how he got the win over Tony Nese, and he's, discussing everything. He's saying, okay, I beat Tony Nese. I've done. He's trying to list everything he's done. He's forgetting that he lost to Drake Maverick, though. Let's just all forget that. Let's all forget about he lost Drake Maverick. Everybody forget that. But he's pretty much saying, what does he got to do to get a Cruiserweight Championship match? What does he got to do? What does he got to do? What does he got to do? And then here's his wife, Maria, coming out and saying, I'm so, acting like she's so happy he won a match, and all of a sudden she looks like she's angry and diary of an angry pregnant woman there, and she looks like she's about to kill him and so disappointed in him, and she's like, she's heading home and taking off. So you see Mike Kanellis all frustrated and everything. He's like, he doesn't know what to do. He loses a match, he's getting yelled at. He wins a match, he's getting yelled at. And this is entertaining in the point of this is real life. This really happens in real life. So this is where the entertainment and reality set in at the same time. So I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, and it's weird. He wasn't even asked about himself, actually. He was asked more about Tony Nese's spiral into depression and overall frustration. And they basically were saying, do you feel that you are a catalyst to where Tony Nese stands? He's like, you know what? Life goes on. And I'm doing nothing, and I'm sick and tired of doing nothing. I need to do something to prove to my wife that I'm somebody. Enter in Maria Kanellis, who seems like she's so happy he got the win, taking advantage of Tony Nese. You really think that win meant something? It meant nothing. Okay? And when you realize how much these wins mean nothing for you, then maybe I'll come back. Because basically she says, until you actually wake up, I'm gone. So now where does Mike stand? What does Mike have to do to make his wife happy and apparently come back? Where is this going? I don't know. I don't know even to look at Mike now as a face or a heel. You gotta feel sympathetic to the guy now. His wife virtually left him, so I don't know. This is gonna be weird to say the least. And as far as you're right, yeah, he lost Drake Maverick. I guess what's in the past is in the past. I truly don't think Maria, as far as this storytelling goes, will truly respect her husband until he becomes Cruiserweight Champion or pins the Cruiserweight Champ, whoever it might be during that time. Only time will tell. I thought it was weird. All right. So moving on from there, we go into our main event of Humberto Carrillo and Lince Dorado versus Drew Gulak and Tony Nese. Or so we thought. Because two were going out. Out comes Gulak and Nese with a pre-match attack. They take control, but Dorado, and I almost made the same mistake as you. Dorado and Carrillo, they're fighting until, what? Arya Daivari? Why is he here? And it's a 3-on-2 assault until who comes up to basically even the odds? Gran Metalik. And right on the spot, Humberto Carrillo, he challenges these 3 men to a 3-on-3 tag match. Holla, 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 players.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta admit, first off, I didn't see that coming. Secondly, I think that's overkill. That's just my opinion. Before I talk about this match, and not only the in-ring psychology, but the manipulation of the crowd and how it impacted the direction of this match, in my opinion, because I'll be honest, I did not think this match was really that great. It had its moments, but a lot of it was. So, Chris, take me through your thoughts on this match. Not so much the outcome, but this match.
I like the very beginning when they're doing the entrances, they're coming out, and Your establishing Tony Nese is now heel, teaming with Gulak again. How they're attacking him from behind. I like that. If they would have just did that, let him get attacked, start beating him down, get referees out there. Oh, we got to separate it. We got to separate it. Come on, guys. Get them separated, and then start the match where Gulak and Nese had the advantage in the early going. That would have been fine with me.
Agreed.
But then you're adding Daivari, which, he does have a program with Lucha House Party and all that and everything. But it's like, okay, all right, I see that. Then Grand Metalik coming out. Of course, that's his Lucha House Party brother there. He's got to go out there and help him. So, but it's like, let's make a 6-man tag. I was ready for Teddy Long to go out there and go 6-man tag. Holla, 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 player. I was waiting for all that to happen. Now they're going back to 6-man tag theory again.
Miss Teddy Long.
I do. I miss Teddy Long too, but this was not the best match. And I'm very high praise on the cruiserweights, and everybody knows me. I'm high praise on 205 Live and the cruiserweight action wrestling. I was not very impressed with this match, really. There was points in the match where it's like, okay, all right, okay, let's get to all right, oh Lord, and you're just going, okay, what's going on here? Until I got to the ending. And like I said, all right, you've now proven that Dorado can pin the champion, Gulak. Okay, that's great. So now you're telling me now he's able to pin him, so that's telling me going into Clash of Champions that, like I said, everybody's seen our predictions by now, that Gulak's going to retain the Cruiserweight champion, and Dorado's pretty much in the match only to take the fall and protect Humberto.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much all. Because they booked him in a corner when Humberto beat Lorcan. They kind of booked themselves in a corner there. You're building up a future star here with a slow burn and everything. If you lose the Gulak, he goes all the way back to the bottom again, because wins and losses matter in NXT and 205 Live and NXT UK. They all matter. So if he had lost, he would have been all the way back at the bottom, and you had to rebuild him up slowly again. So this way, it protects him at the end. Because if Dorado takes the fall, it still protects Humberto because he was not the one who took the fall in the match.
Right.
But the match itself, it's just like, okay, I think they should have left it at a simple tag match and left it alone, not made it a 6-man. I said it didn't really add anything, really any new dynamic to anything. Like I said, Daivari's there, and I'm impressed with Daivari as a heel, how well he's done recently, but there was just no sense adding him and Grand Metalik to the match. This is actually one of those matches I tell anybody to skip at this point, and that's being honest. It's probably one of the worst matches I've seen in 205 Live this year, honestly.
It had its moments, but yeah, as a match as a whole, this was just messy, and obviously it got the crowd kind of shut off too, not just from the wrestlers. Yeah. We got a wave and a baby, moreover. But again, I appreciate Drew Gulak and the heels trying to bring the crowd back into the match.
Yep.
Cradling Grand Metalik, that was pretty darn funny, and then I got the crowd massive pop. And then you hear Tony Nese scissor locking Grand Metalik singing Rockabye Baby. Drew Gulak basically stating Humberto Carrillo, there's your baby! I'm like, good grief, what's going on here? And as far as the capacity that Grand Metalik and Ariya Daivari would have served, I honestly, if they're going to be out there to push the idea of where Lindsay Dorado stands, Ariya Daivari and Lindsay Dorado, they're not done with each other. I would have just done some sort of angle where you just have the two at ringside, not involved in the match. But anyway, faces control the first half, the heels control the second half. There was a couple of high spots. It really didn't pick up at first until Metalik and Nese, they came into play after a wave, and we basically get arm drag, and then Grand Metalik, he controls the ring until Nese bulldozes him, which leads to a real down spot of the match to the point some baby in the crowd was moreover. Again, I don't know what's going on there. I didn't think this was an international crowd. Maybe there was a baby or a celebrity. I don't know. I don't follow entertainment. Like, I don't follow sports. Oh, by the way, commentary, even at some point, I think they were kind of out of touch here. I mean, the new guy, I like the TMNT reference where he calls Lindsay Dorado Raphael the hothead. That was pretty funny. And I do like the fact they did bring up former cruiserweight Cedric Alexander going in the biggest match of his career against AJ Styles' United States title. I respect and appreciate that. But anyway, going back to this match, there was slow tags on the heel side. Grand Metalik was mostly being controlled. And again, Gulak saying, "There's your baby right there." Gulak comes into play, though. He brings the crowd back into the match by cradling Grand Metalik like a baby, which was pretty darn funny, I'll admit. Okay, that was that's clever. Again, Drew Gulak, incredible in-ring psychology. He knows how to control the crowd, whether heel or face. But then Nese comes in, we got Slow Studios Lock. He's singing Rockabye Baby. You can barely hear it. He didn't really bring the crowd back in. Sorry, Nese. Korea, though, he gets a hot tag, and he's in there with Gulak. These two are no strangers to each other. And at some point, there's like a dimming issue with the lights. I don't know what the heck's going on there. But then again, WWE, they can't sometimes get even the freaking graphics right, so who knows? I wonder how much these people are getting paid. Maybe the person was falling asleep, like the person Eric Bishop hired. I don't know. Anyway, our first real hot spot, though, was when all 6 men were jogging for position on separate top spot turnbuckles. They were taken down, and you literally see the 3 faces set up to do moonsaults and the 3 heels. They all eat feet, but somehow, like crescendo, boom, 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 super kick, all the heels down, all the faces down. That got the crowd back into it, a little bit of a pop. That was a pretty cool spot. And then we a spin-out powerbomb on Lince Dorado by Drew Gulak. Carrillo comes over the top rope. He takes out Tony Nese. I didn't know Grand Metalik could jump as high as Montez Ford. That was impressive.
Yeah.
Over the top rope, Hurricane takes out Ari Daivari, probably the biggest pop of the match. And Lince Dorado, he finishes off the match with a shooting star press, as you said, pinning Drew Gulak. Now, for those of you who follow WWE psychology, it's obvious what that pretty much means. It means usually that guy is going to lose a title match, or in a multi-person match, he's going to eat the fall. So maybe this is just further serving up the idea of Lince Dorado sparring in his own pool of depression. If he loses this Sunday, maybe he goes into business with Ari Daivari, or maybe the 2 faces are 1-1. Ari Daivari is like, "I told you so." But again, I did not think this had to be a 6-man tag. This match was not everything I thought it was going to be. I figured the 2-on-2 would be much better, because you just have that one-on-one heat and one-upsmanship of, "Oh, I can outdo you," between Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik. And that's what I was looking forward to in this match. I figured Tony Nese was just an extra player. You added 2 others. That's overkill, in my opinion. And Gulak, he's just holding the title like this with the angriest face I think I've ever seen on the guy, because he is the law. But so far, the law can be broken. And I like the fact on the graphic I have not seen that magical word, because, ladies and gentlemen, 205 Live matters. It does not belong on the fucking kickoff show. But I digress.
Calm Brown, deep breath, woosha, woosha, rub your ears, woosha. Oh, Shantae.
What is Jinder Mahal on 205 Live? That's why I think the Singh brothers are getting their friggin' training from scrape all mine. Anyway, so yeah, as far as this main event, not the greatest. I thought it was overbooked, and the crowd tuned out. But anyway, let's go ahead and grade this week's episode. So this was our go-home episode. This is the first time 205 Live emanated ever from Madison Square Garden, and probably will be the last because of what we hear in the news. But it's the go-home, right? You think about the go-homes for Raw and SmackDown Live. What matches did they hype you up for Clash of Champions? I can't believe I'm saying this, but the match with the most hype and built into it that feels new but out of place is Roman and Rowan. I can't believe I just said that. Everything else was like me. But anyway, as far as the Cruiserweight go-home setup goes, I mean, you're proving a point that Lince Dorado, he's showing that he deserves to be in this match. He's showing he can pin the champ. But you're also foretelling what might really happen based on WWE psychology and booking logic. But then you add all these extra elements who I feel like would have been better as an epilogue to this, and you just did it tonight. Overkill. Not the best put-together show. I love Kushida's debut. That was the best thing out of this. And the fact that we're setting up Kushida versus Akira Tozawa, I just don't know what's going to happen. The show was run-of-the-mill, though, and I already missed Nigel McGuinness. I'm going to be generous, though, and give it the 3 out of 5. But honestly, I probably should just give it 2 3/4 because, again, the main event to me was just, I don't know. Chris, what about you? What would you grade this week's episode, 205 Live? The Go Home, the Clash of Champions.
2.5. Yeah. The only reason I'm giving it 2.5 and not a 2 is because of the debut of Kushida on 205 Live. They added a new commentator and took away Nigel McGillis. Like I said, it's going to take time for that gentleman to, get his stride into it. So I had to bear with him on his commentary and give him time to get used to everything. Yeah, got to give these guys time. But, I mean, Nigel McGillis took a while when he first was an announcer in Ring of Honor. I mean, he did take time for that. So, I mean, it does take time to grow. The commentary didn't really help. Normally, the commentary gets you excited and pumped up for the match. That didn't really help. Kushida's debut was probably the best thing on the mat, on the thing. The main event was just got too overbooked, and like I said, the crowd pretty much let them know about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried the heel, and the thing is, if the crowd is rejecting the match as baby faces, which is what we had. We had 3-on-3 heels versus faces. The baby faces should have been trying to get the people pumped up.
Right.
Why is the heels having to do it? Gulak and Nice were having to do it. And like I said, it's not like Dorado and Grand Metalik are rookies because they have great experience in wrestling. At least both of them combined have over 10 years experience in the wrestling ring. They should be able to know as babyfaces to get that crowd going. The heels should not have gotten that crowd excited and gotten them back into the match. It should have been the babyfaces. You want them to be booing the heels and cheering for the faces, but this is 2019. We got all that shades of gray and everything else. But psychology-wise, it should be the babyfaces going, yes, man, got to get back in the match and get that hot take, get motivated. It was the heels doing everything to get the crowd back into the match, and that was really disappointed.
Yeah, and more so, it was Drew Gulak more than anybody else. Arya Daivari trying to thank you, trying to elicit some feedback from the crowd. I feel like Arya Daivari is the only one that elicits some sort of hate from the crowd. I did hear some subtle boos for him. But besides that, Drew Gulak trying his best, bringing the crowd into the match with the Rock by Baby. But again, you want the crowd to support the baby faces, not support the heels. The psychology here was just not the normal. It was weird. Yeah. Not a bad episode, but just weird. And you overbooked your main event, trying to put in more than 2 stories we already got going into the Cruiserweight Championship match, plus another story we apparently might have after it's over. Again, I would have left Grand Metalik and Akira Arya Daivari at the most an outside edition capacity, not an in-ring capacity. And honestly, neither of those probably shouldn't even been out there. It probably would have been a much more different dynamic. So, like I said, the only reason I'm being generous, though, is because at least I am excited for the Cruiserweight Championship match versus others on the card. And Kushida had an awesome debut, and I got a teaser of what I can look forward to that I've been waiting for a long time. So, yeah, 3. And I'm going to give the new guy a chance because it is his first night. And it was a Madison Square Garden, so, I mean, that's an accomplishment in itself.
Right.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on into some simple stances. Now, I feel like we should just get this one out of the way. We already kind of foreshadowed it, but let's talk a little more about it. Because here, we do respect the Cruiserweight Championship match more than anywhere else in ODQ. So we both already gave our picks. We believe in the law. Drew Gulak. He's got the most star power. He's got the most recognizability. He's got the best character. And I feel like the next opponent, personally for me, that I can see him being set up for, is Kushida. I think they put Lince Dorado and Humberto Carrillo in this to drive a different storyline. I don't think neither man is personally ready. So, again, I went with Drew Gulak. Now, as far as what I think is going to happen next, let's go ahead and talk about that. What I think is going to happen next is we're going to have this angle with Arya Daivari being like, I told you so. I told you if you didn't tag with those people in Lucha House Party, you probably would have been Cruiserweight champion. They're bringing you down. But no, you have to rely on your brothers. You have to be like them. You have to throw out candy. You have to bring out the pinatas. If you went into business for yourself, because I believe in you, you probably would have been Cruiserweight champ. And this might lead to a match with Grand Metalik. He's in there with a match. He's got Lince Dorado with him at ringside. Grand Metalik wins. Lince attacks him. Heel turn. Lucha House Party finally broken up a bit. Kalisto comes out and wonders, what the hell are you doing? And we get Kalisto versus Lince Dorado maybe 2 weeks from now. So I feel like Drew Gulak's going to retain, and Lince Dorado's going to go heel in the short run. And as far as Humberto Carrillo, good luck working your way back up. You're still incredible, but not your time to be Cruiserweight champ. So that's my brief thoughts on the Cruiserweight Championship match and what I think is going to happen afterwards. Chris, what about you?
Uh, I think it's inevitable that Dorado's going to turn heel at some point. I mean, I don't see him swerving us and having Grand Metalik turn heel or anything like that. I think it's going to be end up like you said, Davari versus Grand Metalik in a match, and then Dorado actually helps Davari beat Grand Metalik, and then you see the heel turn. They start beating down Grand Metalik, and then Kalisto comes out wanting to know what's going on, what are you doing, and they both beat down Kalisto, and that's where it starts with the heel turn, him teaming with Davari.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as for after what's going to happen after with Humberto, he's going to just keep building himself up. He's got to just keep building himself up, having some good wins and stuff like that, and just keep on slow burning. I see them maybe doing something where, Mike Kanellis is demanding, and like I said, I think the main reason Dorado's in the match is as class champion so he could take the fall, protect Humberto. So you can see it where it's Kanellis versus Humberto for the number one contendership, and Kanellis gets the win over Humberto. And that way you could set up a match and you could have Kanellis being the tweener because you don't know what he is right now. You knew he was established as a heel, but now as of late with everything going on, what is he going to do? You don't know exactly. And then you could have him face Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship at Hell in a Cell.
Right, it was there. And folks, again, we're going to have an extra long Simple Stance discussion next week because I think things are really about to change on the WWE Network. But I digress. But yeah, I completely agree with you there. And again, you did bring up the name of Mike Kanellis. He's got one major win over Tony Nese. What could his next major win be? Could it be over Lince Dorado? Could it be over, I don't know, Oney Lorcan? Who are you going to build next? And where does Oney Lorcan stand? This it's obvious his next match to me. It's got to be Oney Lorcan versus Tony Nese. I wouldn't be surprised to see that booked next week, Tuesday. But yeah, again, bottom line, I believe in the law. Why does everybody got to have the blank as their freaking title in WWE? Then again, I'm just a simple man. So there you go.
And I'm the holiday. So there you go.
Anyway, yeah, we both believe in Drew Gulak for the best 205 Live, retaining his title this Sunday as Cruiserweight Champion. Okay, so, Chris, what do you want to talk about tonight on Simple Stances? What's on your mind?
Well, did you see the match between Rey Mysterio versus Grand Metalik on Raw?
Oh, boy, did I. Yes.
Okay.
Where do we begin?
Well, let's see here. You see now that Rey Mysterio has faced somebody from 205 Live. Do we see it now where Rey Mysterio is going to start facing other members from 205 Live, where he has a matchup with Kalisto, he has a matchup with Dorado, he starts having, as Raw goes by each and every week, he starts going back to his cruiserweight roots and starts having matches with the guys from 205 Live, maybe a match with the gentleman Jack Gallagher on Raw, or anybody from there. You got a bunch of opportunities here. You've had this match here, and it is what it is. It's not the Rey Mysterio that was from WCW. It's not the Grand Metalik that was. I watched actually recently just watched some of his matches before he went to 205 Live, and man, what the heck? He could do so much more.
This is WWE. You gotta remember, we gotta water it down.
He could do so much more, and then learning that he had 4 championships at one time.
Yep.
That was interesting. And on that match, I'll give Corey Graves credit because his commentary there, when he said that, I had to go research that because I did not know he had 4 belts at one time. I thought that was very interesting.
Sometimes Corey Graves can actually give you some realistic information and not just stupid babbling.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Rey Mysterio actually starting each week on Raw, trying to build himself back up, actually going back to his roots and actually having more matches with gentlemen from 205 Live? I would think it'd be a good idea because then you could establish these stars of 205 Live on Raw, have an incredible match with Rey Mysterio, because Rey Mysterio can still go. When he wants to go, he can still go and perform with the best. Like I said, they had their moments in that match. There were some good moments, some bad moments. Wasn't the best match in the world by far. But like I said, it was, for the most part, a good showcase for Grand Metalik to have his opportunity and have a big match with Rey Mysterio.
I was honestly hoping for more out of that match, but you got to remember what else it came off of, too. That forward with the women, that got the crowd. That was the hottest thing for the crowd the whole night. Then they just tuned out. And I honestly could see them continuing this route with Rey Mysterio, with Lucha House Party start off with maybe Humberto Carrillo. I mean, think about it. His last big match was against Andrade Cien Almas. They seem to be focusing on the Lucha Libre Mexican style going up against themselves. So yeah, I figured that after this, he's probably going to face either Kalisto or Lince Dorado. He's probably going to go run through all three members of Lucha House Party, and then maybe a surprise appearance by Humberto Carrillo. Highly doubt they'll put him against Angel Garza because he's NXT. But I see him running through all those superstars first, personally. So yeah, I agree. That's going to be basically his revival, no pun intended, or reignition of his so-called revitalization of, I can still do it. I can still support my family. I can still keep up in the ring. And I honestly don't think they're going to do him versus his son as his retirement match. That'd be crazy. I don't even know what Dominic's capable of. I don't think he's even nowhere near ready. Unless they're trying to set up all the way to WrestleMania.
Maybe his son in a tag match at WrestleMania.
Now that I wouldn't mind, and I could see that dynamic happening. Because unless you do the ultimate go-home match for two great, incredible cruiserweight competitors of the Lucha Libre style, you know what I'm talking about, I just don't see a major end yet for Rey. If Rey is going to be send him off. Somehow, some way, Rey Mysterio versus Jushin Thunder Liger. The end.
Yeah.
Simple as that. But yes,
that's what I've been saying.
I believe they're going to run through Lucha House Party and Humberto Carrillo before they do anything other major with Rey, because I don't see him going in the ring as much as I would like to with, I don't know, Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, Mustafa Ali, who is a big, big Rey Mysterio supporter and hired WWE superstar. And I would love to see those matches come to fruition. I can see them going that direction. But yeah, I believe they're going to start off with all three members of Lucha House Party. He clears them, the sky's the limit. I don't think he's going for a title anytime soon, though. Not even mid-card. AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio, though, that would be interesting for the United States title now that I think about it. But only time will tell, because both men might not be on the same show. Again, rumors. Are we getting a full-fledged draft? If it means an end to the beep-blend wildcard rule, please and thank you. Anyway, great stance. All right, let's see here. So, good brother Chris, he supplied a fantasy booking simple stance tonight. Now, you've been reading the same stuff I have. We know NXT is officially being known now as a third brand. They're also a lot of their pay-per-view type scheduling for 2019. The Royal Rumble weekend does not have an NXT takeover with it. When I first saw it, I was like, what? But they are going to do a Worlds Collide, where NXT, 205 Live, and NXT UK will meet each other in competition. And this isn't no crappy Survivor Series where only one brand's going to be dominant. No, people, this is wrestling. We're going to see incredible matches and see who truly can win in a ring. So, good brother Chris proposed this because he and the lovely Cindy G, they are going to go watch a SmackDown Live /205 Live in the coming weeks. But we also know what seems like, I was going to say for next week, but fudge it. We'll just tease a little bit here. We know that 205 Live may be taking in a different direction. It is not officially known when or how or what or if it's going to end. But good brother Chris proposed this as it's the end type match or the first step in the next evolution of this title. Who would you book for a fatal five-way Worlds Collide Cruiserweight Championship ladder match featuring the current Cruiserweight champion, one Cruiserweight from Raw, one Cruiserweight from SmackDown Live, one Cruiserweight from NXT, and one Cruiserweight from NXT UK? Bam! Good brother Chris, that's loaded.
That's easy.
It does seem kind of easy, to be honest, though, because you consider how many Cruiserweights on Raw or SmackDown Live. But anyway, why don't you go first?
Cedric Alexander from Raw, Buddy Murphy from SmackDown, Kushida from NXT, and you put Devlin from NXT UK against Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship five-way ladder match.
All right, so that's what you think. Okay, so obviously I feel like Drew Gulak, if this happens, he's still going to be Cruiserweight champ. I don't think nobody right now in the 205 brand is at his level. Outside it, I do see a few. So here am I. Drew Gulak, obviously, is your Cruiserweight champion. Raw, I was thinking about this for a moment. I'm like, okay, who's been in a ladder match versus who hasn't? In this match, you probably want people who've not only been in it, but you also want to surprise everybody. You see the potential of some of these superstars. What could they do in an environment like this? What would they be willing to do? So yeah, I agree. Cedric Alexander from Monday Night Raw. He has the most promise. Unless you classify Ricochet as a cruiserweight, because he has been in a ladder match. But no, I'm going with Cedric Alexander. Now, as far as SmackDown Live, I'm actually going with Mustafa Ali. I think Mustafa Ali can pull off some incredible antics in this match. Not to mention, we saw what he was capable of at Money in the Bank, where he should have won, but what's in the past is in the past. Now, as far as NXT UK, man, Jordan Devlin is a top-tier star. I'm waiting for them to recreate Over the Top Rope with him and Walter for the NXT UK Championship. And I bet you, I will bet a shirt on this. The next TakeOver, Walter versus Jordan Devlin, NXT UK Championship. Book it, Johnny Saint. But anyway, as far as cruiserweights go, yeah, I agree on. Actually, no, I don't. I'm going to take a different dynamic here. I'm going to go with Noam Dar, actually, because of his heelish tactics. And I think he would add an interesting chemistry to this match. He's no stranger to Mustafa Ali, but as far as I know, those two don't have heat. Which leads me to NXT. What could the Time Splitter do in this, I wonder? But I am not going with him. My NXT pick is actually former X Division champion Joaquin Wilder, DJZ. So my five-way is Joaquin Wilder, Noam Dar, Mustafa Ali, Cedric Alexander, and Drew Gulak. And I'm also going to say this right now, I bet you Tony Nese would interfere. There you go. So I hope they do something like that at Worlds Collide. I would love to see the Cruiserweight title match in a ladder match. It's one of those gimmicks they haven't like renamed or redesigned or really redefined or incorporated into 205 brand or towards the Cruiserweight title. Imagine what a ladder match can do with the right people or the wildness of expectations for certain people with the Cruiserweight title up there. If you're fighting for the Cruiserweight Championship in a ladder match, the only thing that limits you truly is your imagination. I know they say that already, but nobody does anything super big in a ladder match, it seems, except for a few people. Cruiserweights, I feel like, can pull out the most potential with a ladder. So there you go. That's my fantasy booking. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Fantasy book your five-way, five-brand, Cruiserweight ladder match for Worlds Collide, potentially even Royal Rumble. Let us know who you agree with or disagree with. Who would you like to see in a ladder match for Cruiserweight title? We'd love to hear from you, because your opinions matter. And whether you hate me or support me, hey, I'm still going. All right, so let's go ahead and close tonight, of course, continuing our list of greats in Cruiserweights. As you all know, who's been following the series, we've been listing our top 25 matches in the 205 Live brand. As you all know, I've been more chronological because, again, I've watched this since episode 1. I've been there for the best of times, I've been there for the worst times. But I digress. We are now on number 16. And trust me, when I get to the top 10, it's really going to kick off. But I don't think it kicked off here yet. But this was an incredible, incredible match. Going back again to the multi-man dynamic that we discussed last week, where we truly think to the audience receives multi-person cruiserweight matches versus one-on-one. I feel like just from what I watched and remembering how hot the crowd was for this, they do. My number 16 is actually number 1 contendership cruiserweight championship match, fatal 4-way, non-elimination. Mustafa Ali, Drew Gulak, Hideo Itami, and TJP. In this match, he was figuring out the opponent for Cedric Alexander to face for his cruiserweight title at that year's SummerSlam. And boy, was there a lot of dynamics here. Not only did you have the trio at the time of Drew Gulak, Lee Brian Kendrick, and Jack Gallagher, who were feuding at the times with Mustafa Ali. Then you had TJP, who felt undervalued, but feel like he was the cruiser great. Had Hideo Itami on the whole man about, respect me! And Mustafa Ali, the Hard 205 Live, it was red-hot action all over the place. It was guys jogging for position, hitting each other with moves and kicks. At one point, Mustafa Ali planted Drew Gulak face first, while TJP Destruction kicked him in the face, while Mustafa Ali kicks Hideo Itami after he takes out TJP. All 4 men are down. We have a body-on-body collision at one point between Mustafa Ali and Hideo Itami. We get crowd chants, this is awesome. And then one of my favorite points of the match is Gulak saying, I respect you, to Hideo Itami, and then slaps him in the face. And the two beat the daylights out of each other, really challenging each other's physical capabilities. It was almost like I was looking at Tomohiro Ishii and what he brings out in the best of New Japan Pro Wrestling. As they slapped each other, chopped each other, rebound, kicked each other, exchanges outside the ring while they were on their knees. They were still fighting each other. back inside the ring, they were still finding each other. But in the end, Drew Gulak won, applying the Gulak on Mustafa Ali after capitalizing what Hideo Itami did to Mustafa Ali after TJP was taken out. So if you want to see what a fatal four-way is like when all four men put it out there, it's not one guy just winning, but everybody jogging for control, and you have one-on-one to all four-man exchanges. Watch this match. Fatal four-way, number one contendership for the Cruiserweight Championship match from July 24th, 2018. That is my number 16. All right. Chris, what about you?
See, this is the part of the show where I like to save my match, and I like to sometimes test Noah to see if he remembers this. So let's see here. March 7, 2017, Tony Nese, who made their debut finally in a 205 Live match.
Oh, man, 2017?
March 7, 2017, Tony Nese versus who?
Was that Noah Dar? That can't be Noah Dar. Who made the debut?
You should know this because you're a fan of his. You should know this.
I can't remember right now. It's 90 degrees and my brain's fried.
Austin Aries.
I'm a fan of his.
Austin Aries.
Oh!
Tony Nese versus Austin Aries, an Austin Aries debut match in 205 Live.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
March 7, 2017.
He left commentary to challenge Neville.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, but this is his first, and this is his first match was against Tony Nese.
Yeah.
You had the time, you know, he just, like I said, he was the former, I think he's still the only two-time Ring of Honor world champion. Mate, you're going to have to correct me on that. I know he's the first.
Well, the world champion, you mean the world heavyweight or the TV?
The world heavyweight. He was first. I know he's the first two-time world heavyweight champion for Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I don't know, actually.
I don't know if anybody else has done it as of yet since then.
I don't think so. I'm going to have to check the archives on that.
Yeah, I don't think so. But you got a former two-time Ring of Honor world champion, a former TNA Impact champ, world champion.
The belt collector.
Titles all over the world.
The
Came to WWE, went to 205 Live. He got his debut match against Tony Nese. There's a lot of hype around Austin Aries. This match was a great... Huh?
At the time, he was the biggest name on the 205 Live roster because everybody knew who Austin Aries was. He put himself over, especially doing Raw commentary.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, this was an incredible match to showcase what Austin Aries could do for a major audience and a live audience. Tony Nese was performing at a high level. This was a great match. Like I said, the finish is different because this is not the finish I'm used to. I'm used to Austin Aries hitting that brain buster and winning matches. I'm used to him doing different things. That finish he did where he, I guess it's kind of like a discus close. It's not like,
Discus
I know
forearm.
it's like a discus forearm. There you go.
I forget. It's a certain name to it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name is, but I know what a discus clothesline, but I say it was discus forearm. But interesting finish to the match. I said this is a match you definitely got to check out. That's for sure. Like I said, I think they should have done a lot more with Austin Aries being in 205 Live. They could have done a whole lot more. They really screwed that up. But this is a great match, so it's on my list as number 16 on my list.
I should have known that one, too, because that was the year that he won a few weeks later, number one contendership, and that was even one of my matches on my list, number one contendership for the Cruiserweight title against Neville, a.k.a. Pac now, at WrestleMania 33 that was very undervalued and led to both those men's departures. I can only hope that Austin Aries' ego is in the right mindset. I guess he works now in Major League Wrestling, or I think that's what they call it, MLW. And we know what Pac, the bastard now they call himself, is doing. After just beating Kenny Omega, I can't believe that happened, but actually it makes sense to me now, in AEW at All Out. Again.
You picked Pac to win.
Look, it was his debut. All right, you want to shift gears? Fine. It was his debut. He had to win. There's no way you're going to debut for AEW and lose to Kenny Omega in that capacity. And another thing, you know what? Fudge it. Folks, stay tuned. I'm going to do a simple chat on AEW and an AEW preview on my YouTube channel where I discuss the people of AEW, the way they're looking at wins and losses, and what my thinking is so far of the Elite and their current matches, including that, because I got a lot to say about that, but that's not here.
I got to wake up now, folks.
Kenny Omega's not cruiserweight. Not to get me started. Shout out to Cindy G, the leader, in my opinion, of Team DQ. And we'll see what we do as far as AEW goes. But you're going to get me started on Kenny Omega. TJS, by the way, I politely disagree. Kenny Omega is a better wrestler than Buddy Murphy. You know what? Let me pose the question to all of you. Who do you think is a better wrestler if you know these two? Buddy Murphy or Kenny Omega? Leave a comment down below. But with that, before I go way off topic, that concludes this week's episode of Wow. I'm all frazzled. That concludes this week's episode of 205 Live Matters. Thank you for everybody, of course, for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed these discussions. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below on anything we discussed and anything you would like us to discuss on an upcoming episode of 205 Live Matters as long as this series goes on. Because again, until I hear the official word of cancellation, 205 Live Matters will continue the way it does. If it changes, I will tell you this series will evolve, as well as what I might bring to No DQ. But anyway, the future is not now. The future is to come. Chris, an extreme pleasure as always, sir. You got me frazzled. This is why I can't win Wrestling 2 the challenge. But Fred, Jeff, I'm willing to try anytime. But anyway, I digress. Where can people find you and where you want to plug?
So you can find me on Twitter on Christopher Mace. I actually have a YouTube channel since I did my very first video for Clash of Champions predictions. I gave my picks and Good Brothers Chris's picks for the NXT team. Yep. It's the Holiday Christopher Mace. You can look it up on YouTube, or you can look up Clash of Champions 2019 predictions. You'll find it in the first 4 or 5 videos. Thank y'all for all the views. I have 83 views on there so far. I'm really shocked and I'm really shocked and honored by that. I was expecting maybe like 10 or 20, you know. Rule of thumb, somebody told me once, if you get 25, you're done good. That's the rule I was going with. So, like I said, for 83 before, and it's only Friday night, I was really humbled by that, and I appreciate it, and thank y'all for all the support. I will be probably starting to put some things on there at least once a week. I know I plan either Tuesday night or Wednesday to do a King of the Ring perspective of this year's King of the Ring. There's a lot of bad, negative stuff about it, but I want to get into all of it and break it all down and scenario. And unfortunately, I had to admit, though, to me and Noah are still in our Team NDQ's King of the Ring thing because he picked Corbin in the finals. And I picked Gable in the finals. And I picked Gables in the finals. So that's going to be interesting how that plays out because his pick versus my pick. We'll see who wins that.
Bring it.
Support Aftermatch Wrestling. Stephen and Jerry do great work. I know their NXT Tea Party episode 60 should be getting posted here soon. So get ready to check that out. They do great work. They're doing What's NXT Live. That's fun to see them doing it live. I'm glad they got over 100 subscribers so they can start doing them live. Then they have their Clash Champions predictions up with the Simple Man Noah over here as well. They did that live this morning. That was interesting to watch the last few minutes of it when I woke up. But hey, I digress, as you say.
Not that rated R. I maintain control for most of it.
But like I said, that's also something to check out on NoDQ.com as well. Chopping Block with Colin Andrews. He does great work, as always. Prime Cuts. He's done his version of his predictions for Clash of Champions. He's almost at 90 views now, so I know he's appreciative of that. So just continue to support his channel, watch his shows. He does great work. James and Owen, they always do great work with their stuff. If you haven't checked out Owen's 2000th episode yet, go check it out. It's 2 parts. Yeah, it's a 16 hours. It will take you a whole day to watch it. Or just take it in stride like I did and watch an hour a day, and that's what I do. So like I said, love you, Owen, but man, it was a long show.
You're crazy, dude.
James does great work. And support Cindy G and good brother Chris. Cindy G just has new updates on her channel, her wrestling blog, where she's showing off independent shows and different wrestling shows. She's starting that, so I think that's a really cool concept, what she's done there. Check out her prediction with the ladies in No DQ. That was an interesting show to watch, I'll say the least. Good brother Chris, like I said, can't wait to be working with you again, man. Hope everything's going good. And like I said, it's for the AEW Nation on Facebook. They got over 1,400 subscribers. Or not subscribers, I'm thinking YouTube. Anyways, they got over 1,400 members right now. So, hey, that works with me. Lord, I could promote stuff all night. Last but not least, SportNoDQ.com. Like I said, they're the reason a lot of us are doing these shows now. So, like I said, we watched Aaron for years, watched Greg and Jeff and Virtue and all them, TJS and all them for a long time. They do great work. We all give each other grief about stuff, but everybody has different opinions about everything about wrestling. But guess what? We're all human. We all have different opinions. At the end of the day, we all started as wrestling fans first and foremost. So, I'm going to close with that.
As always, a pleasure, sir. And welcome to the YouTube community. And congrats on your first video and many to come. And I look forward to seeing what else you can provide and what I can also provide either for you or with you. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the holiday Chris Mace. Follow him. You will not be disappointed. You will be engaged. Simple as that. But with that, if you want to know more about me, know this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't figured it out by now, I am a lifelong fan of wrestling. So if you want to follow me and talk anything wrestling, and I mean wrestling, look me up on Twitter. NoDQ.com/Noah takes you to my Twitter page, or at Enfoster1916 for those that hate URLs. I know some people have preferences. Also, you can follow my simple YouTube channel here at youtube.com/user/NoahFoster210. You'll find all sorts of recaps, summaries, video and audio forums for predictions and just takes and discussions and opinions on all things wrestling, WWE and beyond, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and independent wrestling in general, sport independent wrestling, folks, as well as much more. It's really been an extremely busy weekend for me, as me and my crew, outside NoDQ, we are the elite of wrestling, and we will be doing our shoot podcast, as we do on a bi-monthly basis, called The Elite of Wrestling. So stay tuned for a fun discussion on my friend Eric Brown's channel, Neo Entertainment, great guy. Follow him on Twitter. Great conversations. We'll be discussing everything wrestling, primarily AEW, and so much more that has happened since early July. Also, stay tuned for my simple YouTube channel where me and the holiday here, we will be doing predictions on New Japan Pro Wrestling's destruction shows in both Kagoshima and Beibu. Apologies if I screwed up those names. That are occurring this weekend. Highlights include, but not limited to, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of New Japan, versus Zack Sabre Jr. defending British Heavyweight Championship that he just beat the guy for at Royal Quest. We also have, of course, Kota Ibushi defending his G1 contract to challenge the current champ, Kazuchika Okada, at Wrestle Kingdom 14 against one guy that beat him during the G1, Kenta. And so much more. Birds of Prey challenging Bullet Clubs, ELP, and Taiji. It's Robbie Eagles and Will Ospreay, one of the best wrestlers in the world. There I said, screw PWI. Bias. Blech. They're challenging for the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championships. And, of course, I'm following the Young Lions Club. Stay tuned for more on that. We also got, of course, the Guerrillas of Destiny defending the titles against Ishii and Yoshihashi. Again, New Japan Pro Wrestling is my number one, folks, if you haven't figured it out by now. Simple as that. So if you want a lot more about my thoughts and takes and discussions on New Japan Pro Wrestling, follow my simple YouTube channel. I think that's mostly the heart of it. As well as, of course, hashtag 205 Life Matters. You'll find everything in a nice playlist as well. Also, I recently started a new audio form where I summarize what I watch in wrestling and what I've heard in wrestling to an extent in the news, NoDQ and beyond, called A Simple Man's Rant in Wrestling. Stay tuned. I will be doing an episode before Clash of Champions on my simple YouTube channel discussing further thoughts I have on Clash of Champions, what I've seen from the Super J Cup now that I can finally see it, what I expect to see from Road Destruction, Young's Lion Cup summary, and so much more. And if you haven't figured it out by now, why are we doing this? It's simple. Support NoDQ. The reason I'm in YouTube. Forever indebted to Caitlin and Aaron Riff and the entire NoDQ Galaxy and Team NoDQ family. Go buy a shirt. NoDQ.com/shirts. Or a cup. Or a tapestry. They don't have pants or pajamas yet. Sorry. Or a cap.
Or get Greg Cherry shirt that you could win on his show.
Buy Jeff Meacham shirt. Buy it all. What are you waiting for? Just buy it. Do it. Go buy all the NoDQ stuff. NoDQ.com/merch or NoDQ.com/shirts. I'm not sure if both links work or just the first one. Also, your opinions matter. So go make a friend, make an enemy, or attempt to out-troll the Troll Slayer, Virtue, on NoDQ's official website. There's a comment section on everything. Polls, columns, memes, gifs, reviews, recaps, predictions, sexy female pics. You name it, it's there. It's wrestling. Primarily WWE with a little bit of independent wrestling and a subtle interest in AEW. And stay tuned because me and Timmy DQ, we will definitely be doing more of AEW, including predictions on AEW Full Gear, which will probably be the last AEW pay-per-view of the year. Also, I might do a simple preview of the first episode of AEW on my YouTube channel, and who knows, maybe I'll see if Aaron Rick will put it up on his. Whether it's by myself or with Good Brother Chris or Cindy G or Good Brother Chris that are spearheading hashtag give AEW a chance. And go follow all of them. Because, again, great people and true supporters of independent wrestling. Because, folks,
Yes, they
that's
are.
where it all started. Respect it. Simple as that. Also, not only does your opinions matter, folks, your predictions matter too. I love interacting with people on predictions, whether here, YouTube, Twitter, you name it. So I have created the NoDQ Galaxy Predictions League, and you all can fill out the form and try to become the first king or queen of the NoDQ Galaxy. Shout out to those that have filled it out so far, including Colin Andrew, The Cleaver. Go follow his channel. The Holiday, Chris Mace, a bunch of other people who are in support of Stefan, Aaron, and Caitlin. So thank you for all who participated. You guys can participate all the way up, since you're not on video, to the kickoff show. So go fill out that form. If you need a link to it, I'll leave it in the description on my YouTube channel, and I'll also put a description of it and a link to it on my predictions video for Team ODQ with the Rated R board of Steph Jerry and Jerry R. Slaughter. And as always, as I like to close, because I feel like we do plugs more than content, but it is what it is. Support your wrestling outlets for big and small, and let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, one-of-a-kind wrestling community together. Simple as that. For wrestling! So with that, thank you everybody for tuning in as always. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that bell to know when the next video is going to go up either on my channel or Aaron Riff's YouTube channel. Thank you for those who tune in. Be courteous in the comments. Be respectful to one another. We're all fans of our own design. And again, just tell your friends about this. They might like it. And join the hashtag 2 For That Match Facebook group too to talk more about this and Cruiserweight Wrestling. It might be rebranded. Again, there are changes coming to No DQ. There's changes coming to what I do. Because there's big changes coming for WWE. And we'll talk more about that next week. But until then, we are done here. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Enjoy Clash of Champions. Enjoy wrestling. Enjoy time with your family. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. Be subtle. Be simple, like me. Or to an extent, like me. And until the next video, and where we crown the first winner of the NoDQ Galaxy Predictions League, and see if Sun keeps his title at the Clash of Champions, where I will, of course, be keeping score. Not necessarily live, because it depends. I might go live, I might not. Haven't decided. But until the next video, whether here, on YouTube, somewhere else in the universe, or the Twitterverse, or on NoDQ, take care, and I hope you all have a good night.
Have a good night, y'all.
And remember, whether you hate me for saying it or not, I stand by this and I'll take it to the grave. 205 Live matters.
Indeed.
Oh, man. I love Renaki.
I do too.
Indeed. Simple as that. And again, good luck to everybody in Team NoDQ and the NoDQ Galaxy and beyond this Sunday for Clash of Champions. Bye, everybody.